Hi, my name's Natsumi, and I'm half Sri Lankan, half Japanese, and I was born in Sri Lanka. I mainly grew up in Singapore and Hong Kong, so those are the two places that I would call home. I'm an only child, so I had to rely on my imagination a lot. I read a lot, and I would play by myself a lot. I did go to quite a few schools, different schools as well. I went to an international school, which was a whole sort of culmination of different people. And then from there, I've been in Canadian high schools. I originally really wanted to go to America for university, but my dad seemed to think that Australia was a lot safer. Thank you. I got online and I was checking around and I found Adelaide, and I just fell in love with Adelaide Uni. It was like love at first sight. I didn't expect to meet somebody like Scott so soon into coming to Adelaide, but he definitely has been my #1 sort of best friend and like my family. I couldn't believe he did that. I think with Scott, I get to stay in my comfort zone a lot more just because he's there and he's sort of like, not an excuse, but I guess I don't have to put myself out there as much when I'm with him. I never knew that I was unapproachable until I think about 2 years ago when I moved into a residential college, and apparently I had this persona of somebody who wasn't very nice. I was really surprised by that. I'm just used to being alone, and a lot of people find difficulty in understanding when people can be, so comfortable with just themselves. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it just means that I'm enough entertainment for myself. I'm at a vet clinic today, and I'm just gonna get behind the scenes, and hopefully I'll be able to learn a little bit more about certain animals that I haven't had experience with, for example, dogs.
With small animal practice, you never know what's gonna, come in the door at any moment. So let's come in.
It's not every day that you get to talk to vets extensively because they are short on time.
Hi, John, come on in. This is Bondi.
I'm a bit nervous just because of what I may see, but it will be great to learn what I can from today.
All right, so what's Bondi here for today?
Well, I'm thinking about having him dissect.
Okay.
So there's a possibility of looking in on a surgery today, and I'm a bit nervous about it and reluctant.
So how old is he?
He's 1.5 years.
Any health problems with him?
No,
or has he all been good?
No,
the last time I was in a surgery, I had to deal with my cat dying, so it's a bit of a touchy thing. And I think also I just start crying instantly. I can't help myself.
That sounds good. And what's made you decide to think about getting him dissected?
I'd just like to calm him down a bit and
sounds like a good idea.
Run away. He needs a bit of calming down.
Yep.
So do dogs need to be desexed for the same reasons that, say, for example, I own a rabbit,
yes,
and they say that desexing a rabbit is better for its health in the long run. Is that the same for sort of dogs?
Absolutely. If you're not planning on breeding with them, desexing them, for health reasons is the best way to go. We take testicles off, so that means no chance of testicular cancer, which we do see in older dogs, and very limited chance of getting prostate problems as he gets older. Things like this are a good thing to help make him a nicer part of the family as well.
I love animals. I've had pets all my life. They've pretty much been more companions than pets. I have to have some form of nature in my life, whether it be a plant or a little fish. I just have to have that movement in my life.
You want to stay with us? Yes. So what do you think? You want to stay for the surgery and have a look?
Sure. And it's hard to explain it to people what that means, like movement in your life. It's sort of like somebody else there, and you just get that sort of companionship from an animal that you may not necessarily get from a human. Looks like you've got your hands full.
I know, it's a full house today, isn't it?
How are you feeling?
These dogs have all been dissected this morning, but Scamp needs to go out and do a wee.
All right.
Oh, good boy.
I definitely considered being a vet when I was little, but I think it's too much pressure, I would think, and I'm just so afraid that I would mess up, and that guilt could stick with me for the rest of my life.
You don't sort of think about having to deal with people, but, all of these guys have owners that you have to deal with as well. Just like, any job when you're dealing with people, you have to negotiate things. And
one of the main ways that you can work with animals that will benefit the most is doing admin work. Not a lot of people actually like doing that sort of stuff. So for me, it's probably the best way that I can help animals, even though I would love to help them on a more intimate level, I guess. Let's go, boy. Ooh, this way. I've never walked a dog before.
Haven't you?
Well, I have, for a short time, and then he just sort of bounded off, and I was like,
okay.
I think I learned the most about just handling dogs, especially carrying a dog. I don't think I've ever carried a dog in my life. You're such an adorable little boy. Yeah, there you go.
Good work. And then I think he might be almost ready for surgery.
Really? Is he too excited for surgery?
No. So he's had his what we call sedation or pre-anaesthetic, and that's got a little bit of stuff to calm him down a bit, and it's also a bit of pain relief. So then we're going to give him a little bit of anaesthetic. So this will make him go to sleep. So you can pat him on the head if you like, Natsumi.
Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you'll be okay.
That takes his mind off what I'm doing down here.
Hi. You're so good. Yeah. Everyone in my life has always joked saying that I would most likely have a zoo because it seems like when I see an animal in need, I just can't help myself. It's like I have to take care of that animal.
Do you reckon you'd like a chair for surgery?
Possibly in case I faint.
You won't faint.
Surprisingly, I managed to sit in the surgery. I think it so happened that I was in the room and I think it sort of came over me like, you know, okay, you're here, it's not going to be that bad. So, do you ever get emotionally attached to the animals that you work with?
Yeah, look, definitely you do. You know, we do have to be a little bit detached, I guess, emotionally, because if we were to take all of them to heart, we couldn't do the job.
It would break your heart.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, really.
It's the thought of it sometimes.
Like I said, I can't even pinch a person, so I think the idea is just indirectly causing something pain, even though it's good for them.
And the thing is, you know, he's not feeling it.
A few times, like, I've just wanted more than anything to bolt out the door. But I think the fact that the surgery was helping Undi at the end of the day was really, it was sort of more comforting than anything, so it wasn't that difficult. So what would you say animals mean to you in your life?
I think it's a really important thing, and I think especially with kids too, it teaches them lots of things. It teaches them, you know, to be responsible and teaches them compassion and empathy for, you know, for animals. But there you go. You have sat through your first surgery.
I think I looked a little too, so.
Good on you.
Whew. Can I bail? Look at that. I think today has been great in that I've learned to overcome this sort of reluctance.
Oh, hi. You want to sit up?
He's like, what's going on? Realize that, you know, you're bettering an animal's life, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day.